Okay, lovely people. So welcome to day 7 of our gut health masterclass. So today is the day I take you through my Transform Your Gut program. So the program that I've been working on with my clients now for approximately 6 months, getting some incredible results. And it's the same strategy that I worked on myself in terms of getting my health back online, which we'll come on to as we go through the program. So I am guessing everybody here or everybody watching, if you're watching this on Catch Up, I'm going to be posting it to Facebook. Maybe you're watching it on Facebook. I'm assuming you're struggling or know somebody perhaps that is struggling with debilitating gut issues. Perhaps they're not debilitating. I know mine were. Perhaps they're just annoying. You want to be rid of them and you want to know how best you can help yourself to get rid of them. So credential wise, I'm Ruth Tansey. For anyone who doesn't know me, I own a health clinic in Stockport called Inner Health Clinic, where we do various treatments from colonic hydrotherapy, nutrition therapy, wellbeing coaching. We also do holistic treatments such as Reiki, reflexology, crystal healing and hypnotherapy, as well as having a yoga studio. At the moment, everything's shut, as we're all aware, but we are looking forward to bringing everybody back in as soon as we can. So are you sick and tired of feeling bloated and not knowing the cause? Because I know for me, this was an absolute bugbear. Not knowing the cause was a thing that drove me insane. Just not knowing from one day to the next. I was always bloated to some degree, but some days it was absolutely unbearable, where I just felt like I needed to, stick a pin in and release the gas or whatever it was that was just causing me to be so uncomfortably bloated, constantly pressing underneath my rib cage on the left-hand side, which is a very common symptom of IBS. It's one that my clients tell me about all the time. This pushing underneath the rib cage, it's almost, you feel like you want to dislodge something, you're wanting to just do something to try and kind of move things along and make yourself feel a bit better. Now, I thought that my bloating was attributed to my constipation, but I actually got my bloating sorted out, and it didn't actually make any difference to my, I got my constipation sorted out. It didn't make any difference to my bloating. So there was another huge frustration with regards to, okay, so I thought I knew that was because my bowel didn't move on a regular basis that I was bloated. But hey, my bowel's moving every single day now and I'm still bloated. So it was like back to the drawing board, so to speak. So are you now ready to take control of your gut health and get your life back? I do hope that you are. And if you've answered yes to any of these questions, then you are most definitely in the right place. So if you feel like you're at a loss and need some support, and I know when we're going through issues, whether it's with our gut or just our health in general, a lot of the time it's just needing somebody to show you the way, somebody to take some of that element of confusion, frustration, fear maybe away from you, and that can show you a way, a solution that works, and then you can actually just almost like sit back and relax, knowing that, right, I am on the right journey now, I'm on the right path. This is somebody who knows what she's doing. She's experienced it herself. She's taken clients through from awful gut symptoms to no gut symptoms. I can almost like have a bit of a breather, because I know what I was like on a day-to-day basis, and I hear it from my clients all the time. It's that constant, it's almost like you're constantly telling yourself, oh, I don't feel well. Oh, why do I feel like this again? I wish. Always wanting something to change, but nothing ever does. But what we want to do is we want to make those changes. And that's the whole reason why I've developed this program. It's a structured program. It takes you through one step at a time to completely getting a resolution of your gut issues. So most people with IBS find themselves with pain and unpredictable symptoms. And I think for me, and you may be the same, it was the unpredictability that used to drive me insane. Like I say, my symptoms were every single day for the best part of 20 years, but there'd be times when they would just be so bad. I couldn't go on a social occasion. I might have to cancel going into work, whatever it might be, because of this huge flare up. I almost used to even dread having lunch at work, because I knew after lunch I was going to be in a lot more pain than I was already. And this is probably the same for you, because like we said, I think it was on day 6 or 5 when we did the food sensitivities. It's, after we've ate that we experience all these problems, but we need to eat, don't we? We need to keep our energies up. We need to, assimilate those nutrients in order to heal ourselves anyway. So a lot of the time it's knowing what to eat, or knowing what's causing us the issue, so that we are reacting to our food. And if we can remove that, then we can move forward with our health, move forward with our lives, because our health holds us back, doesn't it? It really does. It held me back for so many years. All I was consumed with was my gut, was my problems, and that's no way to live. So here are some of the things that either myself or my clients have told me about with regards to their gut symptoms, IBS, whatever it might be, irritable bowel diseases even. So basically not wanting to be stuck taking tablets every day just so that they can eat. And that's a big one, and no one should have to. If you're still having to take tablets every single day in order to be able to eat, or able to get through the day and not have symptoms, then there is something underlying that isn't right, that needs fixing. Not being able to find the trigger. So that's a common one. That was huge for me. One day I would eat this, be fine-ish. The next day, an absolute royal flare up. Why? That used to drive me insane. My clothes feel so uncomfortable. That was mine and clients, obviously. I used to have 2 wardrobes, one nice kind of almost fitted. The other would be almost like pregnancy wear, anything that was floaty, anything that didn't press on my belly and make me feel uncomfortable. I'm scared to leave the house. My anxiety is through the roof. I hear this from so many of my IBS clients, especially those experiencing the urgency and diarrhea, and getting to that point of not being able to work because they actually cannot get into the car because they're overwhelmed with this fear. Hating going on holiday, not wanting to be seen in a bikini because they feel like they look pregnant, constantly feeling tired and dreading the day ahead. I don't have a clue why this is happening to me, or what the cause is a common one. And what if I eat out and react to food? Most of the time this will happen to people who have IBS, unfortunately. And yeah, my stomach looks like I am expecting. So none of the things that anybody wants to experience, but often experiencing more than a handful of these. So the harsh reality most people face is they start their day hoping that this might just be the day that symptoms go away. But by the time lunchtime comes, they are crippled with pain and unpleasant symptoms, which is just horrible and nothing what we want to be experiencing. Confidence ends up being on the ground and hope is completely lost. And I felt hopeless for a lot of my life. I want to take that away from people. I want to be able to give them hope that if you were like me and you were in and out of the doctor's surgery, in and out of hospital with God knows how many different consultations, how many different procedures to find out what's wrong, and always being told everything's normal, that there isn't. It isn't that everything is normal. It's just that they're not looking at the right things. They're not delving deep enough. They don't have, unfortunately, the answers. So most people who have IBS dream of saying, I am finally symptom free and can go about my day without worrying about what I eat. And this I can happily say, I can say now, never thought I would be able to. I think as well, and this can be a stumbling block for a lot of people. 20 years of struggling with gut issues, you get to a point where you think, well, this is just it forever. This is me. This is obviously how I am. I've tried everything. I am still in the same position. this is just, I'm just going to have to put up with it. And I want people to know that you most certainly do not have to put up with it. If I can get rid of my symptoms after 20 years, then I can get rid of anybody's. So like I say, 20 years of chronic IBS, trying every pill and potion, not just with the doctors, with other holistic practitioners as well, other treatments, so reflexology, Reiki, all of which help because they're helping to rebalance the body. And I would definitely say when you've got IBS, generally speaking, it's not just related to the gut. There are other things going on as well. A lot of the time we're in stress mode, we're not in rest and digest, and things that can help to rebalance us, like reflexology or just having a massage or acupuncture that helps to rebalance the body. Anything that you can do, it's all going to work together to help to bring about this balance to the body, and ultimately all will affect the gut. So I'm going to share with you 3 things. So firstly, the biggest mistake people make when trying to manage and control the symptoms of IBS. Secondly, the 6 stages to healing your gut so you can live pain-free. And then thirdly, my simple proven system, which I use to resolve my own gut issues, and how you can get started today. So what are you willing to let go of to achieve the life you truly desire? You may want to just sit with that one for a little bit. What are you willing to let go of to achieve the life you truly desire? Because quite often there are things that we need to let go of, things that aren't serving us, in order that we can move forward and experience the life and the health that we truly desire. So how do I know this works? So like I say, I'm a nutritional therapist. I got to a point where I had to let go of a lot of things, and one of those things was a hugely stressful job, albeit very well paid, and that can sometimes be a sticking point. You know, we're in a really well paid job. We've got, you know, a pension, we've got a company car, we've got, you know, the holidays. But it's stressful, it's causing me issues. But what if? And there's always the what if I leave and this happens, what if that doesn't happen? And in the end, I just made the decision of things have to change. You only get one life. There's got to be more to life than this. And I wanted to get to the bottom of my issues. And I knew that stress was partly to do with it. And I knew if I didn't make those changes, I knew if I didn't leave my job, that it was just going to just spiral. So at the end of the day, I left my job. I decided I was going to fix myself. And to do that, I wanted to train as a nutritional therapist. And I put all my energy and all my passion into that. And I brought that then into my clinic when I opened it up in 2011. And I do absolutely love working with my clients. It just brings me so much joy to work with such amazing men and women who just are a joy to me, to be part of their journey, to help them make the transition, to see the transformation of their health and how they're doing. It gives me so much joy. So I want you to be able to get your confidence back, to beat the bloat if you're bloated, to enjoy eating out, because everybody should enjoy eating out, obviously when we're allowed to go and eat out, and to be pain and symptom free, because who wants to be in pain and experiencing symptoms on either a daily, weekly or monthly basis? Nobody. And you know, the body is giving us signs. It's telling us that things are amiss or afoot, and we need to listen to it. We need to listen so that we can actually correct what's going on. So I work with 2 types of people. So those who are fed up of IBS showing up in their daily lives, and those who feel they have no other option but to tackle IBS now because the pain and embarrassment it causes is unbearable. So here's a little testimonial from Chris. So Chris worked with me quite a while ago now. He had urgency and ongoing stomach issues he'd had from probably around the age of about 18. Within less than 8 weeks on my program, he was feeling so much better. So what does Chris say? He says, "It's not an exaggeration to say that Ruth has changed my life. She's the first person that truly listened to my story and explained everything in a way that made sense. Having the intolerance test is important, but only the beginning. Working with Ruth is priceless. So that was such a lovely testimonial from Chris to receive, and he was amazing. A great inspiration to me in terms of how he just took the lead, and he worked with me really closely, and he transformed, you know, his health in such a short space of time. Elizabeth Martin as well. So it was her osteopath who had recommended she come to see me. She'd been experiencing dreadful constipation and bloating, and she had 4 sessions with me and just was feeling so much better. So it was great again to receive that testimonial from her. So my proven step-by-step system with life-changing results. So this we do in 3 steps. So step 1, we find the root cause of your gut issues, and this is so fundamentally important. Everybody is different. What comes back for one person will not necessarily come back for the other, and one size certainly does not fit all. Step 2, we put you on a proven recovery program, and this program is tailored to your specific needs in terms of your root cause. And step 3, we help you achieve your perfect gut health, because that's what we all want at the end of the day, isn't it? So most people who suffer with IBS become completely obsessed, like I did, with the wrong thing. What might that be? Yep, latest tablets, medication. And what do? They mask symptoms and pain. They do nothing else. And we don't want to mask the symptoms. We don't want to mask the pain. We want to get to the root cause. Again, it's the body's way of communicating with us that something's wrong. If we leave it unchecked and just mask it, it's going to lead on to more serious things further down the line. So listen to your bodies. So often they don't know how to get rid of their symptoms or side effects for good, and their GP puts it down to just IBS with no fix or cure. And I cannot tell you the amount of times I left the GP office or surgery, whatever you want to call it, in just despair that, oh my gosh, I've just not been listened to again. They've given me more medication, and I've sat there, and here I am again, just trying another medication that isn't going to work. I knew it's just not going to work from day dot. And sometimes, I'll be honest, it might have worked for a couple of weeks. That's what I would tend to find. My system might respond for a couple of weeks, or, you know, maybe not fully, but I'd get some kind of benefit from it, and then back to square one. And it was just this pattern of me trying this medication, not working, going back to the GP surgery, trying another medication, not working, being referred to having this investigation, nothing showing, everything normal. And yeah, just that banging head against brick wall scenario, to where I literally just wiped my hands and thought, I've got to sort this out for myself. So we must find the root cause to be free from symptoms. This is what it is all about. How do we do it? So we use a comprehensive stool test. So we're not guessing. We don't want to guess. We want to find out for sure what it is that is going on. So I use a gold standard stool test with every single client who comes on to my program. So this is an overview of the GI effects from Genova Diagnostics. So it's looking at all these areas. So there's 5 key areas. We look at maldigestion. So do we have the capacity to digest carbohydrates, fats and proteins? And this will be shown here by this pancreatic elastase. Whether or not we are strong in that area or weak in that area will dictate how we are able to digest, absorb, and then assimilate, and therefore utilize those nutrients. We're looking at inflammation. So we have certain markers of inflammation that will show whether there is potentially an irritable bowel disease. So we want to make sure that nothing here is in the red. Then we come on to dysbiosis. So this is the imbalance in the gut bacteria in favor of the bad bacteria. Everything needs to be in balance. And then we have this metabolic imbalance here. So this is all to do with the gut microbiome, these short chain fatty acids that the bacteria feed upon. And in doing so, they're providing this energy source for the cells of the colon wall, for our vital organs as well. And then if this is left unchecked, this can lead on to this leaky gut or gut permeability, which basically is then just opening up the door to an autoimmune condition where the body literally attacks itself. So we don't want that. And then we're also looking for infections, so a parasitic infection, a bacterial infection, or potentially a yeast infection. So we're going to look at these key areas. So the 6 things you need to do to banish your gut symptoms for good. So here we go. We remove, we restore, we replace, we re-inoculate, we repair, and we rebalance. Now, it's not always done in such a linear fashion. Depends again on who I'm working with. It may be that we do remove and restore together. It might be that we do remove on its own and then we come on to restore. Maybe we add replace at this time. It may even be that repair that's at 5 needs to come in a lot sooner. It really depends on each client and what they are presenting with. So the fact is, if you don't have a way to banish the symptoms and side effects of IBS, you will always live in fear of your next flare-up. So let's get started. Remove. So first of all, we remove anything harmful. So this, we want to start by removing bad food, because we can't expect the body to heal if we're going to pollute it with processed foods and sugars and starches and dairy and wheat and gluten and, you know, lots of coffee and alcohol and fizzy drinks. You know, none of that is conducive to a healthy gut. So that needs to go. So how are we feeling about that? Resistance may be showing up. So I would recommend that maybe you ask yourself who is in control of what you eat. So remove again, we will be working with your results. So if there is yeast or a bacterial infection or a parasite, you will be prescribed specific antifungals, antimicrobials or antiparasitics in order to get rid of whatever is showing up for you, and your report will show what it is that we need to use, and that's the beauty of using that report as well. So SIBO, which we touched on before, so small intestinal irritable bowel syndrome, which is thought to be really the issue with regards to 70% of IBS, that it's actually the root cause of IBS is this small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And when we have this, there is always bloating. I, funnily enough, didn't have SIBO. I had every, you know, you would have thought on paper I looked like I had SIBO, probably ticked every single box, but on a test I didn't have it. But it causes so much bloating. That's its key one. But then there is also intermittent, possibly constipation, diarrhea, or just constipation or just diarrhea. And that largely depends on whether it's hydrogen or methane gas or a mixture of the two. So then we restore. So we want to restore the bowel to its normal functionality, and that should be a minimum of 1 healthy bowel movement a day, but ideally 2 or 3. So if you're eating 2 to 3 times a day, ideally you want to open your bowel 2 to 3 times a day to get rid of your waste, to get rid of your toxins so that your body can heal. Then we replace. So if it's shown on your test result that you have low pancreatic elastase, if you remember, we said pancreatic elastase was responsible for digesting your carbohydrates, your fats and your proteins. So if you are low, then you're not going to be able to break your food down, and it's just going to become poisonous basically to the rest of your body, and you're not going to be able to assimilate and therefore utilize the nutrients from your food in order to heal. So we use plant-based, super high potency digestive enzymes just before meals to help stimulate and give these digestive enzymes. And the beauty with these is that after, say, 3 months, possibly even 2 months, they've worked on just making sure that you have strong digestive enzymes. So it's not like you have to take them forever. They help to build them up. Then we re-inoculate. So we do this with well-researched probiotics. And again, This depends on your results. So I always use specific strains, but I also bear in mind who I'm working with, what they're presenting with, and what their test results show in terms of the type or strain of bacteria that I'm going to use, and therefore the type of probiotic I'm going to use. Repair and rebalance. So this is with healing nutraceuticals, so natural medicine basically. We need to give the cell wall and the tissues, the line, the colon wall, we need to give it specific nutrients in order for it to heal, to repair the tight junction, to stop that leaky gut presentation that's causing all these food reactions. Because if we leave leaky gut and we don't heal it, then it's going to lead on to an autoimmune condition whereby the body literally attacks itself. So prolonged effects of leaky gut literally do. This is what happens. It literally just attacks itself. So it will attack the bowel wall, and that's when we end up with an irritable bowel disease. So it could be Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, and that is so painful. And we don't want to be in that inflamed state. And the results. So you can live pain and symptom free, finally banish the bloat and all those other symptoms that plague your life. So another testimonial from Andrew. So Andrew came to me, in fact, he came to me more with fatigue and IBS. So he was really struggling with chronic fatigue syndrome and IBS. So he says, Ruth recommended a number of tests. From the results of these, put me on various supplements to support my recovery program. So Andrew had done various tests with me, including the GI effects. Ruth provided a lot of dietary and nutritional advice, which has meant a radical change in my diet, which amongst other things has all but eliminated IBS, which I've had for over 30 years, so which was just incredible to read that and to, you know, have that conversation with Andrew with regards to his IBS symptoms. So he's now feeling much better, and this was years ago, by the way, with a much better balanced diet. I found Ruth to be very knowledgeable, understanding, supportive, approachable, competent and professional, and would have no hesitation in recommending her. So this program is perfect for you if you want to be rid of your bloated stomach once and for all and finally feel good in your clothes. And at the end of the day, don't we all want that? If we're bloated, we want to be rid of it, and we want to be able to wear whatever it is we want to wear and feel comfortable and look good. So it's also for you if you want to be rid of embarrassing symptoms that go side and side and appear when you least expect them. You want to be pain-free, and you want to feel in control, on top of the world, and ready to live the life you truly desire. So do you want a simplified step-by-step program and hands-on support from an expert to banish the symptoms and pain associated with IBS? So how does this work? This is for you if you are fed up with your clothes feeling uncomfortable. You're done with the pain and side effects of IBS, and you are ready to start living confidently. This is not for you, however, if you are making excuses and not willing to make changes. You are stuck in information gathering mode and not prepared to take action and invest to get results. You are not serious about taking the action needed to banish the symptoms associated with IBS. So this is for you if you are done with embarrassing side effects that come hand in hand with IBS. And finally, are you ready to find out what's causing your gut issue? So look at all these different areas: hypothyroidism, adrenal fatigue, liver stagnation, yeast infection, parasitic infection, bacterial infection, leaky gut, impaired digestion, dysbiosis. Thank you, pussycat. Off you go. All these things need to be looked into, and quite often what we find it's not just one thing, it's quite often a number of different things that all go hand in hand. So you can apply now to see if we are a match to work together. So the way to apply is to go onto my website, www.transformyourgut.co.uk, and then you will see a book call button on the homepage, and you can just book your call. We can have a chat, we can find out what's going on for you, and we can see whether or not we are a match. And if we are a match, amazing. But if we're not, I will do my best to refer you on to somebody who I think can help you. So day 7 Gut Health Masterclass giveaway is Tonic by Tanita De Rugi. I think that's how you pronounce her name, possibly not. But this, I love this book. Loads of digestive juices in here, lots of warming teas. I've just made so many amazing drinks from this book. So I hope whoever wins this from today will enjoy the book as much as I've done. It's beautiful.